Hi, I'm Cyndi from bdancewear.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how to take one of the lace sports bras that you can find everywhere and give yourself a little bit more coverage. Most of them have a really thin lining, so you can see through them, and it's just not enough coverage and won't make the girl feel comfortable when she's dancing in it. So I'm going to show you how to give yourself a little bit more coverage so you have more confidence while you're dancing and so that you have more coverage. So the first thing we're going to want to do is you can find these little bra cups in a lot of the stores, or they come inside sports bras sometimes, but you can usually find them at a sewing store or even online. You're going to want to get a set of these, and then you're going to want to get some color that matches your skin tone so that you can't see an obvious change. Something you'll want to really check for, if you're putting it under white, look at that. You might want to go with white or a matching color, because if you put tan under white, sometimes it changes the color of the white. So first thing you're going to want to do, you get these, you're going to put it behind when the girl has the bra on, because it'll stretch. Make sure that you cannot see any of that cup, because if you can, you're going to need to trim it before you start sewing. So see how that one is really covered in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to then take that piece of fabric that matches the skin tone, and then you're going to go ahead and pin it around. Start at the top center, because if you need to take a pleat, the bottom center is probably going to be the best place for that. Okay, and then just keep pinning around. Now see, when we get to the bottom, there's just too much fabric. I found that it's better to work with a bigger piece of fabric, because if you cut it exact, sometimes you're going to have a little bit of a problem. So in this bottom, I'm going to go ahead and take a little pleat like that. Nobody will ever see that. It's going to be facing the side of the sports bra. So this color will either be matching or to blend with your skin tone. Now, see how that's all pinned in there? By putting this little pleat, if you use a flat piece of fabric and you try and keep it flat, what it's going to do is flatten out that bra cup and take that curve away. So you want to make sure that curve stays in there. So let's go ahead and pull over our sewing machine. Now remember, nobody sees this, so don't worry about it if your zigzag is not exactly even or whatever. And what we're going to do, I'm going to use a pink so you can really see this. I'm going to take this first pin out, and I'm going to go along that very edge of this with a nice wide zigzag. And then pull out pins as I'm going. And just swing it around. Try and keep it even, but if you can't, you know what? It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to know. And just keep going with that zigzag. And if you see that you're having any problems with the fabric, you can stop and take a look and see where it went wrong. Now we're going to go ahead and switch to the side, the bottom. We're going to keep that little pleat in there. And we're kind of catching the edge of it, because you don't want the fabric to fold over. If you go too far down, the fabric will kind of do a little flop. And so there you go. So you can see I went along the edge here, yet it still keeps that cup feel. So now I'm going to go ahead and take it. I'm going to do it from the reverse side where I see the cup. I want to make sure not to cut any stitches. And just trim that away. That way you can get a nice clean edge without ever cutting into your zigzag. You want to be careful, because if you cut into your zigzag, what's going to happen is that the whole thing could unravel. So see how we got that nice and clean there? Now we're going to take the sports bra, and I'm going to fold this in half so I know where the center is. This particular, inside the sports bra, there's a seam down the center, so it makes it really simple. You can stitch this in by hand. You could actually do the whole thing by hand if you want. Now, something I always suggest that you put it on the girl, obviously with safety pins. Now I'm going to want to stretch this a little, because it is going to stretch when it's on the girl. It's not going to stay small. Where if you sew it without stretching it, or I really recommend you put it on the girl, put the cup in place, and then that way it stretches exactly the amount she needs. But if you don't stretch it and you sew it down, then what's going to happen is it's going to keep that squished down. It's not going to give it the movement that it normally has. And so then I'm just going to go ahead and go in here and put a little zigzag in the top, just to hold it into place, or hand stitch it, and a little zigzag in the bottom. Let's pull that needle out. And let's pull this and see. And then when she puts it on, this should stretch and hold in place. If you want to go ahead and tack down the sides here and here, that's great. I just don't recommend you tack the whole thing down, because then you're going to give it the shape of the cup instead of more soft lace look. So then try it on the girl, see how it fits, and then you can trim all the threads. And that's how you put a cup that matches the skin tone and hide that sheerness of the lace. So if you have a lace bra and you want a little more coverage, this just might be the video for you. Thank you for watching our video, and if you enjoyed it, make sure and click here to subscribe, because we're going to have some amazing DIY videos coming out. And if you want to get our free complete dance costume DIY guide, click right here, or go to bdancewear.com/DIY guide. And lastly, if you have any questions or ideas for future videos, please leave it in the comments below. Thanks again for watching our video, and remember, be original, be colorful, bdancewear.com.